The Suburban Betrayal, the entitled Sister-in-Law Episode 2, The Cold Winter Eviction. The Suburban Betrayal Episode 2, The Cold Winter Eviction. I stood in the center of my own living room, holding that cruel eviction notice, feeling a cold fury washing over me. My brother Derek wouldn't even look at me. He kept staring at his phone, pretending to be busy with work, completely submissive to his wife's demands. Chloe crossed her arms. A triumphant, ugly smile plastered across her face as she watched the heavy-booted movers dump my mother's personal belongings into cardboard boxes. "You can't do this, Chloe," I said, my voice dangerously low and calm, trying to suppress the absolute rage burning in my chest. "I paid for this house with my own hard-earned money. Every single brick of this estate was bought with my sweat and tears. You manipulated a sick, heavily medicated woman into signing away her lifelong security. This is illegal, and you know it." Chloe laughed, a loud, screeching sound that echoed through the high, elegant ceilings of the house. "Oh, Leo, honey, look at the signature on that official deed," she mocked, waving her long acrylic nails in the air with pure arrogance. "It's completely legal, witnessed and stamped. Your mother willingly gave this property to her eldest, successful son because she knows we are the ones who will actually take care of her in this prestigious neighborhood. You are just a bitter, jealous little boy who doesn't understand how the real world works. Now get your trash and leave before I call the Oak Ridge Police Department to drag you out for criminal trespassing." I looked at my mother, who was sitting on a hard plastic chair in the corner of the kitchen, weeping silently into her frail hands. She was hyperventilating, her chest heaving as a wave of intense physical pain and emotional shock washed over her. The betrayal committed by her favorite golden son was a wound deeper than any physical blow. I knew that if I stayed and engaged in a screaming match with Chloe right now, the intense stress would cause my mother to have another fatal heart attack right on the floor. I swallowed my pride, walked upstairs with heavy steps and packed my essentials, my coding laptop, my backup servers, and our clothes into 2 large suitcases. I helped my mother put on her heavy winter coat, gently wrapped a scarf around her neck, took her critical medicine bag, and walked out of the house. The Ohio winter air hit us like a brick, freezing and ruthless, as snow began to fall heavily over the quiet suburban cul-de-sac. As we walked down the icy driveway, dragging our suitcases, I turned back one last time. I saw Chloe standing on the warm, illuminated front porch, holding her phone high, taking a smiling selfie for her social media followers with the caption, "New house, new blessings." We checked into a small, outdated, extended stay motel on the desolate edge of the town, where the neon sign outside blinked frantically through the frosted window pane. The room smelled of old carpets and cheap bleach, a depressing contrast to the luxurious colonial mansion we had just been forced to abandon. After I carefully got my mother tucked into the stiff bed, monitored her erratic pulse, and gave her her heart medication, I sat down at the small wooden desk in the corner. The weakness, the shock, and the tears were officially gone. Now, it was time for the software engineer to go to war. Chloe thought she was a master criminal, a genius manipulator who had executed the perfect white-collar crime. But, in reality, she was financially illiterate, technologically ignorant, and incredibly sloppy. She didn't realize that when I set up the advanced smart home system for that colonial house, I didn't just plug in standard devices. I integrated everything under my personal corporate developer account. The high-definition security cameras, the electronic smart locks, the automated smart thermostats, and even the high-speed fiber optic internet router were all legally registered under my name, funded by my business credit card. More importantly, during the renovation, I had installed a hidden, encrypted backup network drive deep inside the attic insulation to automatically log all local network traffic and security footage for safety. I opened my laptop connected to my secure cloud server and pulled up the archived security footage from the living room on the exact night the deed was signed. My breath hitched as I watched the playback in crystal clear 4K resolution with flawless audio capture. The footage was devastating. It clearly showed Chloe pouring a large glass of wine for my mother, secretly handing her 2 extra heavy sedative pills, and screaming terrifying, fabricated lies about the federal government coming to arrest Leo and seize the house. It showed my elderly mother crying, trembling with terror, completely confused by her medication, as Chloe forced the pen into her shaking hand and pointed aggressively to the signature line. "I have you now, Chloe," I whispered into the quiet, dark motel room, a grim, ruthless smile forming on my face. But I didn't stop there. I launched a deep, comprehensive digital audit into Chloe's public social media presence and her private financial history. Since she used the home Wi-Fi network that I completely owned and managed, my router had automatically logged every single domain request, encrypted data packet, and financial transaction from her personal devices. I spent the next 6 hours decrypting the traffic logs, and what I found was a goldmine of criminal activity. I discovered that Chloe had been running a massive, fraudulent online luxury boutique store for the past year, importing cheap, low-grade counterfeit designer clothing from overseas factories and selling them as exclusive handmade items to innocent buyers. Even worse, to avoid taxes and detection, she had stolen my mother's identity and clean credit history to open multiple hidden offshore merchant bank accounts to process the illegal payments. She had already driven my brother Derek into over $80,000 of high-interest debt, and she was currently in the final stages of using the stolen house as collateral to secure a massive new cash-out refinance loan from a shady, private predatory lender. She desperately needed that loan approved within the next 2 weeks to pay off her angry, threatening clothing suppliers before they filed a federal lawsuit against her for fraud. I realized that if I took this video to the local police department right now, Chloe's high-priced defense lawyers would tie the case up in civil estate court for months, allowing her to drain the entire equity of the house before a judge could stop her. I needed a faster, more absolute, and highly destructive trap. I reached out to a former college roommate named Marcus, who was now a senior investigator at the State Financial Crimes Bureau. We met at a quiet, secluded coffee shop the next morning on the outskirts of town. I handed him an encrypted flash drive containing the raw video footage of the elder, abuse, the automated router logs, the fraudulent credit card statements, and the fake tax filings Chloe had submitted under my mother's social security number. Marcus reviewed the data on his tablet, his eyes widening in absolute shock as he realized the massive federal scale of the fraud. "This is insane." "Leo," Marcus said, shaking his head in sheer disbelief. "She didn't just manipulate your mother. She committed identity theft, grand larceny, and systematic tax evasion on a massive level. We can easily secure an official grand jury indictment for this within a week." "Don't arrest her yet, Marcus," I said, leaning in closer, my eyes filled with a cold, unyielding determination. "Let her think she won. Let her spend her stolen money to throw her big, expensive housewarming party this coming Saturday. I want her to fall from the absolute highest point of her fake life." Marcus smiled, a grim, professional smile, and nodded. "Consider it done, Leo. We will coordinate with the local sheriff's department to execute the arrest warrants at the exact hour you request." I spent the next 3 days confined to that motel room, remotely controlling the smart systems inside the mansion to slowly drive Chloe completely out of her mind. I coded a custom script that subtly altered the smart thermostat, making the house freezing cold at 3 a.m. and boiling hot at noon, erasing the internal system logs so her phone's screen showed everything was functioning normally. I programmed the smart locks to randomly click open and lock during the afternoon, making Chloe incredibly paranoid that someone was stalking her inside her new luxury property. She posted multiple frantic, terrified videos on TikTok, crying to her followers that her dream house was haunted by an evil spirit, completely unaware that the ghost was her IT engineer brother-in-law sitting in a cheap motel room down the road, systematically dismantling her life. The stage was officially set for the ultimate suburban showdown, and Chloe was walking straight into her own permanent destruction. The stage was officially set for the ultimate suburban showdown, and Chloe was walking straight into her own permanent destruction. Chloe thinks she is the supreme queen of her new stolen mansion, but she has absolutely no idea that the digital trap is about to snap shut on her entire life. Leo has gathered an undeniable mountain of federal financial fraud evidence, and the state police are ready to move. What will happen when the authorities crash Chloe's luxurious housewarming party in front of all her rich friends? Will Derek finally stand up to his toxic wife, or will he go down with her? The massive climax is coming up next in episode 3, and you do not want to miss it. If you are standing with Leo and want to see absolute justice served, smash that like button right now. Make sure to subscribe to Littell's All and turn on the notification bell so you get notified the second episode 3 drops. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next Kicked Ting episode.